what it's like being young in 2025? Here it is. I just got off an 8-hour shift at work where I make double minimum wage in my state. I hop in my car, check my banking app. Cool, I've got $50 to last me till next week.
That's tough. I mean, double a minimum wage in a lot of states, minimum wage could be maybe $7-8. Maybe she's making $15 to $20 an hour. And she's saying she only has $50 left in her bank account for the next month. That can be a budget issue, but it could also be things are very expensive right now. So I feel for her because it's tough out here, especially if you're just spending and not tracking what you're spending. It can be very difficult to kind of manage your budget when times are tough like this, you know? But it's not tough for everybody, but it could be tough for her.
Oh shit! I have to run to Walmart because the wire in my bra snapped. I don't have underwear because it keeps going missing. My eyelash curler broke, and I have no food. I bought 4 things. 4 fucking things, and it came out to $40!
I'm telling you guys, items are almost $10. It's almost $10 an item now. I go to Walmart, I get something. It's generally $10 an item. So if I get 5 items, it might be $50, depending on what you get. 4 things for $40 makes sense, especially going to Walmart where you could buy multiple different things. You could buy clothes, shoes, you could buy your food for the night, or you could buy some ice, whatever you want to buy. $40 for 4 things is crazy, and that's just what times are nowadays. The only way that we can help adjust to this is by adjusting our budget. Okay, now things cost more, so we need to start cutting back in certain areas. And it's okay to cut back. Like, you still have to cut back and manage your budgets. Like, that's fine, that's normal, that's life. Can't expect to spend what we spent 5 years ago now. Things are going to go up. That's what inflation is. Things go up, things start costing more money, and we have to adjust accordingly.
I'm living off granola bars. But I hop my depressed ass back in my car, and I look at my banking app again. Oh, cool, I've got $10 now to last me till next week. I try to drive, but my car keeps misfiring. I can't afford to fix that. So I keep on parking, turning off my car, turning it back on, until it decides to act right.
So imagine you're trying to do everything correct. Maybe you're trying to save, maybe you're trying to budget. You have $10 left until you get paid next week. And you're trying to not use credit cards because that's what would be next. That's what the logical person would do. If I can't afford something, I'm going to put it on a credit card because I'm not going to just not be able to eat. This is what's so tough about these things. And I'll talk about like the best way to avoid getting in a situation like this. And it's really the big 3, which I talk about all the time, but we'll talk about that later. Let's see what else she's going to talk about.
30 minutes later, I'm finally heading home to my 4 roommates.
Okay.
I pay $8.50 a month. Now give him that's everything included. But $8.50 a month with 4 roommates.
She has to live in like a Boston, a DC. She has to live in a very expensive area. So where I live now, there's literal whole apartments, 2-bedroom apartments, 700 square feet, $800 to $1,000. Now I don't live in the best area, but I also live in the Midwest. So I could pay $800 something for a whole apartment. She's paying $850. She probably lives in New York. She might live in the city. And I can't live there because the cost of living is just too high. I need to invest money. I need to invest 20% of my income. If I can't invest 20% of my income and rent out or live in this place, then I can't live there. So that's crazy. So it's hard to say, but it's kind of like she put herself in this situation. You don't have to live in this expensive city. Yes, this is where the money is, but could you make something similar in a cheaper city and pay close to the same amount for your own apartment? But it sounds like she has one of the big 3 down, housing, paying $850 in a city or wherever she's at, where a full apartment probably costs more than $2,000. She's cheap with housing, which is a good thing, right?
Remember back in the good old days when a man could afford to feed, raise, house his family on minimum wage? And he had a second family on the side who he also housed, fed, and raised. You know what I say to all that? Fuck you. You guys had it so fucking easy, and then you destroyed everything behind you.
Yeah, I always hear, oh man, bread used to cost 25 cents. Gas used to cost 25 cents a gallon. And I mean, was there a lot of women staying home and men kind of supporting the whole family? And I think that's hard to see nowadays because of how expensive things are. Imagine you're a man or woman, whoever, and you want your wife to be stay-at-home mom, but your rent or your mortgage is $2,000. Let's say 2,500 when you factor in expenses. When you factor in your monthly expenses, if you have a house, say $300 to $400 more if you have electricity bill, Wi-Fi, gas, and then you want to have and then you want to have your phone bill in there. So say that's $3,000 just for housing. $3,000 just for housing. And then you want to have a car. You have a car. You have a car payment, 600. We'll go 700. Gas a month is 300 plus some maintenance, maybe $1,200. So already at $4,000. We're just talking about housing and transportation. Then you factor in car insurance. So that's $4,000. And these are all things you don't have to have. Of course, you plan your things out better and maybe get a house hack, maybe live with a roommate for a little bit, save up money, then go start that family. You don't have to get a car payment either. And then you're talking about food. How big is your family? It could be $300 to $1,000 a month for food. So $5,000. Are we at 5,000? 5,000 or $6,000 just for the essentials. And then you want to go out to eat. You want to have fun. You also want to invest. You also want to save. So we're talking about a lot of money. And that's why I'm so huge on lowering your expenses, lowering your housing expenses, which is the biggest expense in your budget, which is what we do. We house hack, lower the housing expenses so low so we can have extra money in areas so my wife can be stay-at-home mom and be with our son 24/7. So I think house hacking is like one of the best things ever. You guys should look into it. We also lower our transportation. We just bought a new car, but we shop insurance. We shop insurance for the house. We shop insurance for the car. We make sure that we can have our expenses as low as possible. It's difficult out here, especially at a young age, if you don't have a good, steady job, a good job that's gonna bring a good income. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't know if we can make it work in another city or a city where we're paying $2,000, $2,500 a month for rent or a mortgage. I would have to severely cut the amount of money that's going to our retirement. I'll have to severely cut the amount of money that's going to savings in order to afford something like that. It depends if you have family. If you have, 2 kids, a wife, you have 3 kids, a wife, having a roommate situation where you have, 3 roommates and then you're the fourth, your family's the fourth, it just doesn't really work out. So you need to have your own space a lot of times, and have your own space gonna run you 1,500 maybe. And that's like, you're not gonna find that in Boston, you're not gonna find that in New York. We're talking $2,000, $2,500 a month for maybe a studio in a lot of these places. So it's all about how much you make and your expenses. You want to keep your expenses down here and continue to make money, whether that's getting 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and save up and invest into your future and build skills so you can get a good job that brings you a good income, and then you may be able to afford places like this. So I don't know. I'm just not huge on living in these big cities. I think we kind of lucked out because we were kind of forced here in the Midwest. But even when we were in Boston, we were paying $1,200 for rent for a 2 bedroom, but that was also like almost an hour away from the city, which is where I was working. So you have to commute an hour to even have an affordable living. And even now that apartment complex has gone up in price. So definitely feel where she's coming from. It's hard to afford life out here, especially if you're making double minimum wage, because minimum wage could literally be $10 or it could be $7 an hour. So she can make it $14 to $20 an hour. And it's just hard to live off of that, especially if you don't want to go into credit card debt. What I will say is to keep your expenses as low as possible. She's already doing that with her home. Hopefully, doesn't seem like she has a car payment, but her car is misfiring. So maybe it's literally $800 going to rent and $300 going to food. We're saying $1,100 is what she needs to live. Maybe $1,500 is what she needs to live, and she can't go out to eat right now. She can't have fun right now. She needs to just really be able to save for when her car goes down. She be able to she needs to be able to have food to live. So she needs to only spend money on rent and transportation. And that's it. You're cut off. Rent, transportation, and food. So she has gas, maybe $200, $300 for food, $800 for rent. So we're talking about $1,500 is what she needs to operate on. And the rest of the money needs to be saved She just shouldn't even be thinking about investing until you get some kind of emergency fund, because when your car starts breaking down, that is bad. You have no money in your accounts. Then you start looking towards credit cards and getting those 24% interest rate cards and running your credit up. And then you just kind of, it's a downfall from then. $1,500 a month, focus on the essentials and save the rest. You have to be very disciplined if you're in a situation like this. So let me know what you guys think about this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.